Okay, good evening, people. I just posted the links to the Hangout on Stunt Hanger and the two threads, the one in the open forum and the one in the streaming videos at the bench forum. So looks like we've got 3 viewers, and I'll be checking on YouTube to see who comes in over there. And remember, as I mentioned the other night, when you post in the chat box over on YouTube, we can't see that in here, so I'm going to be going back and forth. I think we've got some of our problems fixed or cleared up with you guys that are having trouble getting into the chat. Remember, you need to be signed in to Google or start an account with Google if you don't already have one. And if you've got a Gmail account, then you've already signed up. Then sign into YouTube, and notifications will be in each of those. In the top right, there's a little drop down. I think one of them's a bell. Sometimes it's a red ball with a number in it. And you can also click on the notification about the Hangout, tonight's Hangout, in there, and get in straight here too. Follow the prompts once you do that, and you should be able to get right in. So I'm just going to hang out here and wait and see if anybody drops in. And believe Sparky's still out of town. Hopefully he's at a place where he can get good enough internet access to join us, but it varies, and sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. So when he can, I'll hang out here with you in my den. I still never have managed to get set up in the shop, but I'm about tired of the shop today. I've been out there sanding and trying not to make a mess. I made the mistake of repairing a plane, and before I repainted the repairs, I decided I was going to try to save the decals. Don't ever do that. It's a total waste of time. And so I'm going to end up sanding the old ones off and just printing some new ones out. And it takes a lot less time to do that. It'll probably be lighter weight and neater too. And I see, Sparky, how you doing tonight, buddy?
All right. Uh-oh, can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't get on Monday night, but we had no internet here in the hotel.
That's okay. We actually had a really good chat Monday night. That's probably the best one I've been able to do so far. We got a few people figuring out how to get in. Looks like Michael's joining us now. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Rusty. Hey, Sparky.
I emailed Minnesota Mike. He's one of the regulars over on YouTube, so maybe he'll come in tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
But meanwhile,
I'm
just parked in front of the computer waiting for people to show up. Go ahead.
I can't stay on too long, about a half an hour, and then I got to go to bed.
I'm probably going to cut tonight short too, because I got to get up early and get to an appointment in the morning. So we'll get what we get. And I think we got cut off Friday night. That was a strange night. I came in late, and then when we got cut off, I ended up talking to Charles Carter and Chris, the new Chris that's dropped in on us lately, for about 2 more hours, but it said we were off the air and nobody else was active. It didn't show any viewers. And then Monday, when I talked to some of the people, they said, yeah, same thing happened to us, only they had gotten kicked off with somebody else and had chatted for another hour or 2. I don't know what was going on with all that.
That was all kinds of weird. That was all kinds of weird.
I went back to look at the stream after it's archived onto YouTube, and it takes until the next day before the first hour is included in it. I don't know what's up with that. I guess it has to process for a while or something, but it started, if you go click it on YouTube, it starts about an hour later than the actual beginning, but after a while, the whole thing's there. So I went back and looked at it, and it seems like it came out pretty good.
You're kind of breaking up. Maybe it's, I think your bandwidth is up too high. or
I
could
got
be
it on.
mine.
I got it on medium. Let me drop it down to low and see what happens. Okay, I dropped it down to low.
Maybe it's mine.
It might be. I can usually look at my motions in the little picture window, and if it's stuttering, I know I've got a bandwidth problem. But it looks like it's in sync with my mouth talking.
And is my audio coming across okay?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Yeah, you sound good, Sparky.
I have not heard you breaking up even when you had, said something about it.
Picture, in my case, your picture's kind of a little pixelated, but otherwise you're coming in good, Sparky.
It looks clear, perfectly clear here.
Well, this is motel bandwidth, and it's not very good.
Yeah. So how's work been going? What you been working on?
Well, we haven't had any handicap vans. I've been doing some conversions for service trucks, putting in lift gates on service trucks and wiring for lighting and things like that.
Yeah.
It's all right. Whatever.
That a little easier than the handicapped ones or not?
It's all work. It's all the same. It's all nuts and bolts. Got my airplane sitting in the corner there. You see him?
I see him, yeah. Any place, you've got a place pretty near there to fly. Are you staying are you working in the same town you were before in Dayton? Is that where you are?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 4 miles from the field.
That's good.
That's kind of,
Their club meeting is at Tuesday night after work, and I go out there, and I'm tired when I get out there. I put in one flight. My engine wasn't running. I was walking out to the handle, and it started loading up, force cycling real bad and almost dying. So Jerry would put the nose up, and just no good. So I kind of just flew around level the last flight, and I've had enough. Went home. So,
Yeah.
But we're going to be at Brodax Sunday, so I'll get plenty of flying in the next week.
Yeah, all our guys are packing out this week, headed up there, sending them off with a shopping list to get from the hobby shop while they're there for me.
I wished I had somebody that I could do that with.
That saves you shipping, and if they're a dealer, that saves them extra too. But yeah, I think I got a Cardinal coming back if it's in stock. If not, I guess an Oriental. I'm not sure. They're close to the same plane, but the Oriental I think is a little shorter coupled. I'd rather have the long coupled Cardinal. I enjoyed flying my old ARF Cardinal, but this is a kit that I want to get back.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to come on tonight so I could see if this would work.
Yeah, it looks like it's working okay. You're clear, and your audio is not breaking up over here either, so we're good.
Because I could show Sparky that thing Minnesota Mike's interested in.
We sat in
It's
it.
a dueling.
Yeah.
Yep. Dueling 29 in a Hellraiser.
We
And a harder speed pan.
Yep.
We spent about an hour in here the other night talking about speed and half A and stuff like that. It's about the first time we've spent any time on that subject in the Hangout, but yeah, Stunt Hangar's a big forum. We got all kinds of people that know different aspects of control lines, so you don't have to be a stunter. You can be a combat guy or a scale guy or whatever and come in and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, I acquired a Fox 36X. I thought it was a BB or an XX, but it's not. But I'm going to build a combat wing for it anyway, and maybe see if I can find a 36X BB.
Has that got a square Venturi on it?
Yeah. The difference is the back plate.
My dad is a Fox Feathers with a Fox rocket in it. that Fox rocket feels like it's got problems.
I'm jumping over here to the YouTube page to see if anybody's posting in the chat on YouTube. It's not popping up yet, though.
Surely somebody else is going to join us, wasn't Tom?
R.W. Bishop. R.W. Bishop's over there. Everyone's audio fine here in PA. Okay. Anybody know R.W. Bishop?
No, I don't.
I don't.
Well, R.W., if you have a Google account, like a Gmail account, and you can sign into Google, then get the notification out of the top right of your Google window, click on it, and you can come in here with the chat with us.
You're not talking to me then, right?
Now, I was talking to R.W. Bishop. I was over there on the YouTube page. If you look down at the right-hand bottom corner of your screen and you see where it says 6 viewers and then the links, if you click that links, you get the
No, we
link.
can't see that.
Yeah.
We can't see that.
That's why I was going over there. You can look at it if you get that link and open another browser window. You can see who's over there.
You're not understanding. The people in chat or Hangout cannot see that. Only the moderator can.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So what you need to do is take your little arrow, go up to the top where it has a, I don't have it here, where it has a person and a plus. You need to click on that and it'll drop down and that'll give you the link. Or we can do this. Let's see. Let me see. I got your link and Control C. We'll go over here to live dashboard. I'll go to the events. Now you might get some feedback here because when this opens up, 6 watching. Let me shut the sound off. There we go. Okay. So we put this in here. Link to chat.
R.W. Bishop thanks us for inviting him, but he can't chat now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So any of you guys that see that link can click on it.
And when we went down Friday, Sparky, came back on and kept catching Jorge. Had a good chat with him.
I was in some other I was in some other mysterious place talking with Charles Carter and Chris. And so I don't know what was going, but that was the night Sparky said he thought they were working on the software while we were trying to use it too.
I think they're still working on it because it sure ain't acting right.
Yeah, it's just.
We could always change to Skype, but I'm not sure that's as convenient for everybody as this is.
I have Skype, but the problem is Skype doesn't record to this channel.
Okay.
There's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like to go back and look at them sometimes, and other people only watch it after we've finished it too. Will Davis watches them all after we get through, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too.
It'd be nice if some of them would join us. Well,
you know, you can click through until you see something interesting and kind of get something out of it.
Yeah.
There we are.
Any clue what happened when you went out Tuesday with why it went all rich on you or anything? Sparky?
No, I changed the glow plug, and when I got done with the flight, there was all kinds of oil everywhere. I never seen oil like that. I think maybe all the oil settled at the bottom of the gallon, and it might have picked up all the oil because
Yeah.
Because it was running bad.
What percentage of oil do you use in your fuel?
20.
Oh, okay. That's odd.
10% nitro, 20% oil.
Yeah, that's odd that it should settle like that. I use 1022.
Yeah, this was oily.
What you working on tonight, Michael?
Nothing too much right now. Working on school. Trying to figure out how to do psychology and sociology.
Those ology sciences, yeah. Soft science.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Somebody might take umbrage.
Yeah. Had first class with that today and had to bite my tongue with one young gentleman who is a huge Trump detractor. So I had to bite my tongue big time.
Mm.
Oh, well. Maybe they'll get a clue someday. I hope.
Yeah, well,
Well, I appreciate you taking on this this task, Rusty. You're running this. As you
I'm
can see, it's
happy
a real
to do
pain
it.
in the ass.
I'm happy to do it. It's been fun. I just need to get more prepared, to have things to talk about during dead times, but so far the visitors have been supporting it pretty well, so we hadn't had any problem with that.
It is definitely hard to do an opener.
Yeah.
To know what to talk about, because you don't want any dead air.
No.
And you just want to, kind of roll into something. So I have to think of a topic that at least cover a half an hour of talking, and it's pretty hard to do.
You bailed me out pretty good the other night when you started looking up balsa wood and basswood on the internet and telling us about it. So that was good. When you sit in your home studio or your shop, do you have more than one monitor that you can look at, or do you have to switch back and forth on the same monitor?
I got 5 monitors.
Okay, that makes it easier. I wish I had at least a couple, but I'm just working with one, so I have to switch tabs and try not to get too much going. I had too much going one night and the signal started getting choppy. I had to close tabs.
Was that Monday, I think?
That was Monday. I ended up, yeah, it turns out I had an extra video of me going, so it was working double time. Uh-oh, hot rails to hell. That's my son. Y'all hang on a minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right.
Well, other than work's work, how's things going?
Nothing. I'm dead tired. I can barely keep my eyes open.
Yeah, you look pretty tired. Sounds like that's a lot of physical work doing that.
It's not really hard. It's just long hours.
Yeah. What kind of shift are you doing?
I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
and I leave here at 6:30, and I'm there at 7, and we're off at 4:30 with a half-hour lunch.
Okay.
And I come here and eat dinner and unwind. It's time to go to sleep again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough.
Yeah,
I think as soon as Rusty comes back on, I'm going to sign out.
Okay. Yeah, get some rest. Have a safe trip up to Brodak.
Well, I got all my camera gear with me. I hope to shoot a bunch of footage, and I hope I saw Shug's video. He did a real good job editing. I'm going to try to do a better job editing my next video. But I'll have a week's worth of footage.
Yeah. I watched that one he did with what is that thing? The one with the NU61 in it. That was pretty good video. What is that?
Well, he just did the Iowa,
Oh,
the Iowa contest, Polk City, and really good editing job.
I may have to go when we're done here, or I may go see if I can find that and watch that. I've been pretty impressed with his videos. He does good work.
Yeah.
So,
He only does them 15 minutes long.
yeah.
So that probably takes him 2 hours to edit that to 15 minutes. When I have, an hour video, it takes, 8 hours to edit the damn thing. So when I get tired of it, I just start going through it real fast. And that's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. That if you're doing that much, I remembered you were saying per hour of video you did 2 hours, but I'll bet it's a whole lot more than that. Editing wise.
Yes. So my Brodak footage might take a while to edit up, but I'll see what I can do.
You got
I already
anybody
have the
help up there?
Yeah, there'll be a few. I already have the opener done in After Effects, so
Okay.
that After Effects took a couple hours to make and about 8 hours to render.
Oh wow.
So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, some of that Adobe stuff takes forever to do. I know. When you're done.
And that was on my good machine with 16 gigabyte or 16 meg of memory.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
It would take 2 days on this machine here with only 4 gig.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll be right back. What you looking for?
The back drum, we can't find it.
Uh-oh. Wife's looking for something. I don't know where it is.
Not that back drum, the other stuff.
Yeah.
The cream begin.
Well, you don't need it anyway.
Well,
If you haven't seen it in a month, you don't need it.
this one's one she just got today. Been having some health stuff going on. Some antibiotic. Health stuff will drive us all crazy. At least mine does, me.
I'm fortunate. I'm pretty healthy.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. Between all those years working at the cemetery outdoors all summer, never wearing a hat or sunscreen, and the lovely
What
things.
were you, a grave digger?
Yeah. Grave digger and anything that was outside work, I did it. Trimmed trees, all of it. Business end, I wished I'd have done the business end. Maybe I wouldn't be having to have shit froze off my face constantly. Forehead. At least I'm not having to use chemo cream on my eyelid again. That's scary. That's just flat scary.
See, after I went in service, come back home from service in the early 70s.
Yeah.
I moved to the Salton Sea. It's 210 foot below sea level. And the hottest I've ever seen it there is 131 in the shade.
Oh, geez.
And I'm pretty fair, was pretty fair skinned,
Yeah.
blonde hair, blue eyes,
Yeah.
and fair skin. But being out in that extreme desert heat changed the pigment of my skin. So it made me immune to getting sunburned. At least the farmer part of me. If I take my shirt off, you can see that I'm pretty white at the shoulder,
Yeah.
but dark below the arm.
Yeah, that's kind of like I am. From all the years at the cemetery, part of my skin. The problem is my face, and my family's prone to skin cancer. So I had probably 10 years ago a basal cell removed from here that'd been cancer for 5 years, being stupid.
Just take a razor blade, cut it off, put a little CA on it, and sand it off. You're fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yep. between
Let
that.
me tell you my dad's doctor's advice. I kneeled down and I ripped the tendons in my knee.
Oh,
I could
gee.
hear him. I could hear him unzip like a zipper. They went. Brrrt. Said, "Oh shit!" And it burned like hell.
Oh, well,
And
that-
so when I was kneeling, I did that at work. So every time I kneeled down, it would burn. So I called my dad and I said, "Hey, what do you think I ought to do? You know, I don't have no insurance to get this fixed." He said, "Well, what is it?" I said, "Every time I kneel down, you know, because I tore these tendons." He said, "Well, don't kneel down." And you know what? They're fixed.
yeah, you don't have to worry about it if you don't kneel down. Yeah,
I
that.
can kneel on it now. I let them heal up for about 3 months,
Yeah,
and they're okay.
that's a good thing. At least they healed correctly.
Well, I don't know if they're healed correctly or not, but there's no lumps, and it doesn't burn, and it don't hurt. So
That's a good thing. Between that and for some reason, I guess my family's more prone to, but my 41 years of smoking prior when I quit 4 years ago, when I had to have surgery on this finger VA, that I had to start or had COPD. That's always a problem.
I've been on this this vapor now for 4 years.
Yeah.
I smoke 2 packs of Camel non-filters a day for about 35 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it no more. This cost me $12 a month.
Yeah. That's a whole lot cheaper. That's for dang sure. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, $15 a day for cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, they started doing this. They're taxing soda in some states. Have you heard that? Sugar soft drinks.
I wouldn't be
think-
surprised that I don't drink it, so I haven't noticed, but I wouldn't be surprised if my state's one of them. They add an extra tax to cigarettes in Colorado.
Right. I think what everybody ought to do is boycott drinking soda
Yeah.
or anything that they're taxing for about 6 months and see how long that tax lasts. Them Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Dr. Pepper and all that would be irate, and they would drop that tax.
I'll bet they'd probably better.
All right, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back, Rusty.
That was my son.
Hey Rusty, I'm gonna cut out. I waited till you came back because I'm dead tired.
Okay. Well, thanks for
Good night.
dropping in,
Good
Bart.
trip.
And we'll
Right.
see you later.
All right, guys. Make sure everybody that's watching this like, subscribe, share. If you're not a member of Stunt Hanger, make sure you join it. That's www.stunthanger.com. And until I see you again, at Brodax, we're going to do that Brodax video, so make sure you watch that. Fair winds, tight lines.
See ya.
See ya.
Have a good night, Sparky.
All right.
Good night.
Okay. Sorry I had to drop out on you there for a minute, but
That's
I always want to talk to my son when he calls to give me his updates on what's going on with him.
That's understandable. I actually found out I had left one of my Cox engines in my vehicle. I actually have three TD-049s with the one that's still in the crystal case.
Wow.
I
That's
got-
great. I've got a couple of good ones. I think
I
I've
don't
got,
know how great these other two are, but that other one's new, never been taken out, never had the stuff taken out of the box. The only slight problem is, I think where my dad had it, it got a little rust on the needle valve and stuff. But
all of that can be fixed. And if the crankcase is good, that's the only part you can't replace pretty easily these days. So they can be made to run. And with, Bernie or Matt at Cox Engines, in Canada or X model engines here in the US, you can get all the parts you need for them.
Oh, wow.
I've got a couple of 09s. One of them's a little wonky. I think it threw a rod at some time in its life because it's got a big scorch or dent along the bottom of the inside of the crankcase, and it doesn't seem to fit together quite right. But I've got another one, and I've never used an 09, and I'd love to build a plane that would fit one that size. So I've been over on Cox Engine forums. I've been talking for, well, probably seems like forever to them. I've been thinking about making a profile clone of a Cox Hyper Viper. Do you know what that is?
No, I've never seen
It's built and shaped like a full-blown stunter. It's half a size, and they put an anemic engine in it. But I think you could refit one. It's plastic, and it's got a styrofoam wing. But it'll do a full pattern with enough power. Unfortunately, Cox didn't supply it with an engine that was strong enough or a tank that could run inverted long enough. But you can refit them. But I'm thinking of just taking all the measurements and the color scheme and making a profile balsa model that's the right size for a TD09 and get one of my 09s running. I think that'd be fun. It'd be almost, I guess, a junior size, because I've heard people say that they used to call the TD09 15 in disguise because it's so powerful.
Yeah. You saw that medallion 09 I've got.
Yeah.
Seems to have good compression and stuff too.
Yeah. The medallions are wonderful engines. They're user-friendly, easy to start, dependable, and versatile. So you can run them on just about any kind of tank. And TDs take a little bit more treatment to get them working right. They all run better on pressure. And I prefer bladder pressure. Some people could go with crankcase pressure.
Yeah.
I wish that the Cox engines would fit up more conveniently to a traditional muffler.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't. But Cox made collars that go around them that trap the exhaust and divert it into a muffler.
Yeah. Those are so ugly. I'm sorry.
Ugly.
Ugly.
And the thing about it is the engines that use SPI, the Cox engines that use subport induction, don't do well with mufflers on them, because when the skirt at top dead center clears the bottom opening of the exhaust vent, cold air is supposed to rush in, but when you got a muffler on it, it sucks in hot, freshly spent exhaust instead of cold air.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't do a thing to enhance its performance. So that's another thing, you know, about running a muffler on a Cox.
Almost. That's kind of the same thing I'd run into. I bought an engine test stand, and it had a motor on it. What that motor was a Super Tiger G20.
Yeah, an engine test stand with a bonus engine on it, huh?
Yeah, that literally was called that way. I paid like $20 for it.
That's funny.
Engine stand. And I want to put a Venturi on that Super Tiger G2023, but muffling it's going to be a real problem, because that one uses subport induction a lot. That's basically built on a G2015 case, so it definitely uses a lot of subport induction.
I think I haven't looked at most of my OSs to see if they crack under the skirt at top dead center, but I think some of them use SPI, but mufflers either they don't pull much air back in through that gap, or for some reason the mufflers don't interfere with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is. I know it's common on two-strokes, even motorcycles, I think. So, you know, a lot of two-stroke engines have subport induction.
Yeah, the one I was thinking of, if I could get one with the right bolt pattern, or the older, like 60s or 70s like the cabin and some of the flow-through mufflers might work by far better for that. I don't know how well those muffle, but
Yeah, so far I haven't had to worry too much about how well they muffle, because all of the places I fly are secluded and don't have anybody to complain about noise. But I know a lot of guys around the country are having that problem, not just around this country, but, you know, over in Europe too, that they're having to deal with noise restrictions like we didn't have to back when all this was new, because, you know, with the post-World War II crowd that I was born into, everybody was fascinated with airplanes, and anybody playing with a American Warbird couldn't be all bad, or French, or wherever you listeners happen to be from. So I was looking at some
anybody flying a Spitfire probably didn't have any problems either.
Yeah.
To this day, that's my favorite Warbird. And that one I'm doing the semi-scale, I think, is the prettiest one of all of them, because it's a Merlin engine, so it doesn't have the blockier fuselage.
A Merlin engine and a Spitfire?
Yeah.
Really?
The early Spitfires had Merlins, and the later ones had Griffins.
What was it that the early Mustangs had, the B and C Mustangs?
They had Allison.
Did they have Allison engines?
Yeah, they had Allisons. That Allison just did not make the power like a Merlin.
Yeah.
Merlin's
Was the Merlin the one that was designed by Rolls-Royce?
Yep.
And built by Packard? Is that the way it goes?
Yeah. Some of them, U.S. ones, were built by Packard.
Were built by
That was the other problem I noticed in that article. I've got the original December 60 magazine that had for that plan, and they also had a Spitfire Mark 9 87 article in there, and the U.S. Merlins for the Mustangs and those were the same basic design, but the parts weren't interchangeable. Why they didn't make them interchangeable, I have no clue. But they did.
Well, let me ask you this. Was the D series Mustang the only ones with the Merlins, or did they retrofit the B's and C's with Merlins?
They might have been retrofitted. I've never studied the Mustang that much.
I know the air
scoop always been my favorite.
I know the air scoop on the bottom is smaller on the early Mustangs.
Yeah.
And it's big and fat like a guppy belly on a D series.
Yeah.
I like the looks of the early Mustangs, but the pilot didn't have as good a view out of the cockpit until they got that bubble canopy on the D.
Yeah, the other thing they talk about between the Mark 9, which came out before the Mark 8 and 7 and 6, because it was supposed to be an interim and it was the one they made the most of, is it had the older Mark 5 flattened nose, and with the 8 they went to the nice curved all the way around, so it had better visibility. Made it easier to taxi and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, out at Triple Tree Aerodrome, where the Joe Nall is held, Triple Tree has its own Mustang, formerly a D. Now it's designated as a T, which is a civilian designation, I think. Yeah. But it can't be used for paid tourist flights. You know, you can take somebody up for free, but you can't earn money, even if it's going to charity or something with those planes. And I think they had bought it hoping that they would be able to, but they're not. But last year at the stunt contest, they treated us to a takeoff, and before the contest started, their Mustang rolled out and took off and came by for a couple of passes, and then went off down to an air show that we were having at McIntyre Air Base here near Columbia that same day. Yeah. So that was cool. I got it on camera, but it was hard to get good shots of it as it flew by. But But I thought that was really cool. I hadn't seen one.
Yeah. That's a neat
I
thing to
hadn't-
have go on with that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
it's a beautiful plane though. And I actually have a picture of it here. Let me show you. When you get your pilot's packet at Joe Null, they always give you a metal plaque every year.
Oh, that is pretty. That's a gorgeous Mustang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I-
That is really pretty.
Oh, there we go. Now I'm up.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep, there's the Merlin stacks out the side.
Yeah, I had a Sterling made a Yak 9 and a Mustang.
Yeah.
That were supposed to be matched for slow combat with each other, and I built the Yak 9 several years ago, and always wanted to put exhaust pipes on it, and I tried everything from elbow macaroni to aluminum tubes and didn't do anything but botch it up. And finally one day on Stunt Hanger, I was talking about the Mustang that I recently required that I want to build, and was talking about I wanted to get some exhaust pipes for it. And so Howard Rush sent me a PM and said, give me some measurements. And I did. And a couple of weeks later, he sent me a pack with about, I think let's see, about 3 or 4 pairs of exhaust pipes in it that I can use for the Yak and the Mustang. So that was pretty freaking cool.
What do you make them out of? Fiber?
He printed them with his 3D printer.
Oh,
So I don't know exactly what kind of plastic he used. It could be ABS or whatever. But right now I've got them on the Yak temporarily glued with some Loctite spray adhesive just for looks. But next time I go fly the Yak, I'll epoxy them on there. But they look pretty good. They look better than that old piece of blue tape I've been flying around on the place where they're supposed to go for the past 2 years. So.
yeah. Turnout's kind of slim to none tonight, other than us.
Let me look over on YouTube and see if I see any hangers out. Let's see.
Definitely tell Sparky was tired.
Yeah, he looked like he was about whipped. I'm refreshing the page now. Let's see who's on the chat over on the tube. I think I told you earlier, I emailed Minnesota Mike. He's one of the ones that always drops in. Let's see. Nah,
Turnout's kind of slim to none tonight.
I don't see anybody else that's. Let me look over on shut up. YouTube and see if I see any hangers. Stop. Okay. That was me echoing what I just said, but I don't.
It was echoing what we both said, I think.
Yeah. Does anybody know if the Reading Control Light Club is still around? Their web pages are both down. They went by the name Flying Dutchman or some such. Well, unless you know the answer to that, we'll wait and see if anybody comes on with us that can answer it. That was R.W. Bishop asked that question, so we'll come back and try to get an answer for him.
Pennsylvania, probably Reading, Pennsylvania.
Says he's from Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah, he says he's from Pennsylvania. He's asking about the Reading PA Control Line Club. So I don't have any way to get in touch with RW unless he comes on while this is still running, because tomorrow this will all disappear. So
That's no good. Oh, well.
maybe if he's a member of Stunt Hanger, he can PM me. I go by Rockin' Rusty, RKN Rusty over there. So y'all can look up my profile and get my email address from there if you want to get in touch with me.
Yep.
It said there were 10 watching, but evidently none of them are posting in the chat. I'll go back and look at it. I'm back to you here in the Hangout right now. I'll check on it again in a little bit.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I hope you guys a good trip up there. I wanted to go. One of these days I want to go to Brodak.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to go.
Maps are a whole lot closer than Brodak for me.
Yeah, it's 10 hours for me, so there's no chance I'll make it up there. But hey, I got a triple tree and Joe Knoll right in my backyard, so can't beat that. I'll just have to be thankful for that.
I think the nearest Denver's further from, or the same distance or slightly less from me than Albuquerque is. And I know Albuquerque, or used to, the last I saw, has a control line contest at one point.
Mm.
They have that one up in Denver at Labor Day, and they lost their field or lost their time slot last year. Trying to. I think our friend from Nebraska goes to that one fairly regularly when it happens.
Is that Jared?
Yeah. Don't know why I have such a hard time with his name, but for some
We
reason.
were talking about it the other night. I couldn't come up with Nebraska to save my life, but yeah, that's where he's from, I believe.
Yeah.
And he and his dad, I think, came together to Huntersville. Must have been last October, this past October.
Yeah, if I remember right, he talks about his dad flying a stiletto.
That's right. Yeah. And he sent me a picture. He snapped a good shot on a day when some storms were in the background and gray clouds in the sky, and there was a huge rainbow. And he caught the stiletto doing a wing over straight slam in the middle of the rainbow. And it looks like the rainbow is just pouring out of the back of the plane. So I took a couple of I took some of those. I took the picture and made several different variations of it, darkened it and lightened it, and sent them back to him. And he chose one he liked. And I got one I like that's just ominous looking with black clouds and this stiletto going over the top of the curve with the rainbow pouring out of its ass. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why I took the wild notion. I guess for one, I have a control line K&B 40, and I was looking through, I think, the engine thing, and somebody was asking about a K&B 40. I didn't know that Les McDonald, for 2 of his world championships, was using or 1 or 2 of his world championships was using a Stan Powell reworked K&B 40 in those.
How many world championships are won these days with an engine that size? Everything's up above 60 now.
That's strange to me.
What?
Either that or electric.
Run that by me one more time.
It's kind of strange to me that they're running that big an engine or electric.
Or electric. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, the bigger planes will fly in windy weather better than the lighter planes will, and they are less prone to getting fluttered around by the wind. And so, if you can handle it, I think a bigger plane's probably the way to go for a perfect or close to perfect pattern. But I can't handle the big planes. I'm just not big and heavy enough to fly one. I've seen some skinny guys fly them, but damn, I've always joked about how my Magnum used to just about pick me up off the ground, especially pulling out at the bottom of loops. It would walk me a couple of steps forward if I wasn't dug in with my heels. So that was just too much for me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when they went, that's something I need to get the new AMA rules or whatever on. How do they judge? Is it purely by the weight of the airplane they judge the size for lines now, or?
Yeah.
So there's no size designation. So if you build a great big airplane that's relatively light, you can run the smaller lines.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. It used to be by engine size, but now I believe it's by airplane weight.
Because that was the big deal when they came out with the tune pipe 40s, is they had the power of the 60s, consistent run, and they could run on the 15,000s instead of the 18,000s.
Yeah, now there's guys that fly the size planes I do with .012 lines, but I don't trust those.
No,
Like the
that's
15.
getting too small for me. That's for a 15-sized airplane. That's what I grew up with anyway.
Yeah,
That
well,
is
the
not
old
a big
rules,
airplane.
I think the old rules would let you fly a 35 with the O12s, but I don't remember exactly, but something like that. And they're too fragile
Yeah.
and easy to get kinked up, and so I fly 15s on everything except for that Magnum. I flew 18s on it.
Yeah. That's that one you had the FX-46 in?
That's the one. Yeah.
And it handled a Magnum? That's a good engine.
It did amazingly well. It was full two-stroke with a 12x4 prop, and it had good authority, straight overhead and a wing over. You could pull down on it and then let go, and it would tighten the lines back up straight overhead. So that's a good test of whether that plane's got any authority up top or not. Just pull down on it a little bit and see if it'll pull the lines back up while you're in the middle of a wing over.
Yeah. When I'm ready to build that, I'll send that FX to Jim and get Venturi and a Super Tiger needle valve in him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what mine had. I have no idea what size the Venturi was. I gave it back to the, after I wrecked the plane, I gave it back to the guy that had fixed it up for me, because it came to me with that 40 in it. And he said if I didn't need it, he had a use for it, and I didn't need it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was just as strong as a bush bearing 60, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that I have any experience with 60s.
I don't understand a
L46
big deal about the Super Tiger V60 either, but supposedly it has a perfect run box stock. And how come so many people reworked them like Big Jim Greenaway, among others, if they were that perfect?
I don't know. I'm not equipped to make that argument either.
Yeah.
Maybe if Randy Smith drops in, he'll set us straight on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that completely surprised me, that this Stiletto 660 is not exactly a small airplane, and he was using that KNB-40 in the later, in the 80 and 82 and 84 championships, I believe. And I think the 40 won him his one NAS too.
Mm-hmm. Well, Charles Carter loves his Strega, but he's flying a Stalker engine in it, and he broke his crankshaft. Was he on here talking about it the other night, or was that just me?
That was after the thing must have gone down and you were talking.
I bet that's what it was. Yeah, he heard a funny noise, and it was still flying, but when he took it home and took the engine apart, the crankshaft came out in two pieces. The front bearing and the rear bearing had been holding the crank together so that it would still transmit power, and it was still an angular enough cut to where it didn't cam away from itself a little bit. Obviously, that's what the noise was, but that was odd. But that engine had been in a plane crash prior to him getting it, and so it had obviously a stress fracture, and it didn't move. Yeah, because it started out flying fine, and in the middle of a flight it started making that noise, and that's when that crankshaft came apart. I find that completely amazing that the crankshaft broke in half and was still flying.
Yeah, I find that very amazing too. Stalker's the one that Casminato sells, right?
I don't know. I know Tom Dixon resells them, but no, I don't know. I don't know where they come from. I think Charles's is a 60 or thereabouts.
Yeah. Yeah. those are so pricey. All those engines of that caliber.
Yeah,
To me,
that's out of my.
never going to be that good that I need something that good. I don't think.
Me too. That's out of my realm of needs. I do fine with these eBay OS engines, and you know, if I ever got to be an expert, which I want, likely, you know, I want to start thinking about upgrading to high-end engines.
Yeah, I know Sparky in times talks about wishing he hadn't sold all his PAs.
Oh, come on, guys! Somebody else. We got 7 viewers.
Come on, somebody come join us.
Yeah,
Tom Creasy, where are you?
yeah, really. Tom usually drops in on us. He's probably laughing at us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop over to the YouTube
I
site.
see Jared had never come back. I haven't seen Jared in forever.
No, not since back in the winter when we were on.
Yeah.
I'm refreshing the YouTube page now. I'll see if I can stop it before I hear myself talking again. There we go. Nobody's posted since R.W. Bishop.
Wow. That's unusual.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The other guy that kind of miss is the younger guy out of Louisiana.
Frank, where's Frank from? That's
No, not Frank. I can't remember. He's a big guy. Pretty good sized guy. The one that was building that Jim Walker Firecat from the Brodak kid, I guess.
I don't know. They kind of all run together
Yeah.
for me now. We'll hang out for a little while longer, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn in early if nobody else shows up.
Yeah. I'm basically taking a break from homework. I should be working on homework.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm glad you dropped in, or I wouldn't have had anybody to talk to.
Other than Sparky for a little bit, you could tell he was
Yeah, he wasn't.
shocked.
He wasn't up to a chat session tonight.
Yeah. It was good to see him anyway. So he actually can feed from the hotel, but it's kind of it at my end. His his vocal or his volume was great, but he'd move a little different and you'd get a little pixelated.
I saw him
on mine.
I saw him freeze up once or twice, just briefly, but I was getting a fair shot from him.
Yeah.
It wasn't crystal clear.
Yeah.
How does mine look to you right now?
It looks pretty good. Every so often I'll see a little flashy stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it's probably still my internet. I don't think they've figured out completely what that whole deal was that was knocking me out with it saying I was on. I sure don't need it doing that too much this summer if I'm doing a hybrid college course that all the homework and the term or research paper and all that are turned in online.
What college are you going to?
Trinidad State Junior College here in Colorado. One thing that it's most famous for, beyond it's had some well-known, nationally well-known athletes back in its distant past.
So this is a brick and mortar
School here. The gunsmithing school here was started in 1925 by P.O. Ackley. So that's a pretty well-known gunsmithing school, and it's still a really good school for that. That's my birthday girl today. We figure she's about 11 today.
Wow. Hey, girl.
Hey, Rusty.
What's your name?
Her name's Baby Doe.
Baby Doe.
Yep.
Let me guess.
And
You
after the fact, I found out I'm actually related to the original Baby Doe, Tabor, on my mom's side.
Hmm.
The one that everybody loved to hate. Because she kind of, they claim she destroyed a family when she married Tabor way back when.
I'm not up on my Colorado history, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think his name was William Tabor, and he got filthy rich off the mines that year.
I've heard that. Okay, that's a name I have heard actually.
Yeah, she was his second wife, and
Hmm.
oh, everybody loved to hate Baby Doe. And she basically died broke and pretty much losing it up in Leadville years later. Caught nothing but grief after he died.
Well, we got
Judgmental attitudes that can be so hard on people. Other people.
10 viewers now. That's a high for the night. Wish some of you guys would come in if you are signed into Google. Look for your notifications up in the top right next to the little avatar picture. First thing to the left of your little avatar picture. Open that, look for notifications, and click on the Hangout link. Join us. Not but a couple of hoops to jump through after you click the link.
And you have to sign that you understand their community guidelines and so forth, and then
Yeah,
2 clicks and you're on.
can't say I've ever actually read it.
You or me both. Oh, come on, somebody's.
I think I'm gonna close it up.
I think maybe we should. I'm getting kind of tired, and I'm
Well,
going to doing some
apologize.
outside work tomorrow, making some money tomorrow anyway. I've got some
Yeah.
lawns here in town that
Maybe I'll start one.
enforcement guy came out and gave tickets, so some people called me to get their weeds knocked down.
If I feel like it tomorrow night, I might start one up just because we had, a low turnout night. Maybe everybody's busy or tired
If not, Friday will work.
day or whatever. But
Friday will work. If not, I'll just kind of keep my eyes open.
okay. Well,
Well, have a good
everybody, be sure and join Stunt Hanger if you're not a member. Sign up with Google so you can enter the chats. And meanwhile, don't forget to like us on YouTube. And gosh, I always forget what else.
videos.
Yeah, share our videos. And meanwhile, we'll see you soon. If not tomorrow night, it will be the regular time on Friday night, which is somewhere between 9 and 9:30 Eastern time. And so, as Sparky likes to say, fair winds, tight lines. See you.
See you later. Oh.